Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bumpkin News. Tonight is election night, November 2nd, 2010. Very good night. If you're angry, which I am, and I think I represent a lot of people. Why am I angry tonight? Because the campaign leading up to this election has shown us that there are politicians, career professional politicians who have ignored the will of their constituents, both Republican and Democrat, that are more interested in power than they are their constituents or the U.S. Constitution. Note all these politicians that lost their primaries, both Republican and Democrat, lost their primaries and then decided that they wanted to run as an independent. That's number one, to get these self-interested, power-hungry politicians away from any political office. And the second reason why I'm angry, and a lot of my fellow citizens are angry, is because of the trashing of the Constitution that we have seen. It's not just about health care or cap and trade and some of these other issues. Those are come under the umbrella of the main issue, which is the trashing of the U.S. Constitution. This is a time when Americans that love their country and believe in the Constitution as the heartbeat of American government are rising up and cleaning house. This is part number one, and the next election is going to be part number two. We would trust. Okay, the subject of the video here of the sellout of African Americans. Before we launch into this, we want to give you a little background about ourselves, because some people will probably call us a dumb racist hillbilly. I want to give you some background that my wife is an African American. I have some very close friends that are African American, and some very close friends, I would say best friends, that although are not from Africa, they're several generations ago, but from other places, are nevertheless Negro and considered to be African American by, I guess, people that wouldn't know them. But so I do have an understanding of some of these things, and I present an unbiased view. Now, to give you a very clear example of this, the sellout of African Americans. This campaign has been so illustrative of what's has been taking place in American politics, and is just now being revealed, and a lot of people are picking up on this. You know, Abraham Lincoln said, and this saying of his is being validified, or validated rather, right now, and that is that you can fool some of the people all of the time. Right now we've got about 20-some% of the population that stand up and cheer for the president, Mr. Obama, right now, even though he is, by his own words, is a liar, a very well-established liar, and he has said that the Constitution is flawed, and other statements that he has made, has reversed himself, contradicted himself, and all kinds of shenanigans going on. Stand up and cheer for him, and these people, I'm sad to say, are that group that Abraham Lincoln spoke of, that you can fool some of the people all the time. And then he said that you can fool some of the people some of the time, and these were the independents that were fooled the last election, who have since realized the fraud that was perpetrated on them. But we want to look specifically at the African Americans in the United States and how they've been sold out. They've been sold out by their own so-called representatives, and they've been sold out by the Democrat Party. Okay, let's look at the race for Senate in the state of Florida. You have a Mr. Meeks, who's an African American. ran the primary, the Democrat primary there, and beat Mr. Crist. And so the Democrat voters in that state chose Mr. Meeks, who's an African American, over the other candidate, the Caucasian Mr. Crist. And of course they're running against Mr. Rubicon, so the Republicans. So what happens? Mr. Crist, he decides that he's going to run as an independent because obviously he doesn't want to give up his hold on power. He doesn't want to obey and recognize the voice of his constituents, and so he's going to run as an independent and oppose Mr. Meeks, the African American candidate. At the same time he opposes Mr. Rubicon. Now what happened? Bill Clinton was dispatched to go talk to Mr. Meeks to try to get him to drop out of the race. Now this is very interesting. Those that supposedly are the champions of the African American community trying to get the duly elected in the primary process Democrat candidate who's an African American to drop out. Now why did this take place? This took place because the Democrats want to legalize illegal immigrants and make them citizens so that they can vote. Because they outnumber African Americans, that is their chosen voting bloc now. That would be the new base of support of their power, and if they could get that voting bloc, it's very conceivable that they could have a lock on power in this country, possibly in perpetuity. Mr. Crist, being a supporter of the agenda and in the back pocket of the president and of the Democrat Party, they knew that he was a vote for amnesty for illegal aliens, thus giving them that brand new voter bloc if they could possibly get it. And so the idea was, let's get rid of Meeks, deep six him, because he might be unreliable when he realizes, hey, all these people are going to outnumber the African Americans, and they'll no longer be the preferred on the list. So they want to get rid of him. Now the question is, we've seen how the politicians have sold out those that they supposedly stood for and represented and were so very concerned about, but we find out that all they've been interested in is the vote. They really don't care about them. They care about that vote and solidifying their hold on power. Now let's look at those that supposedly represent the African American community. We've got Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, and where are these two? You can answer that. I'll give you a few seconds. You just call out to your computer monitor, where are Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson when the Democrat Party is trying to deep six Mr. Meeks. That's right, they're quiet as a couple little church mice. And you know why that is? That's because that they are part of the Democrat power structure. They want to maintain their seat of power, and they can't buck this strategy that's going on to gain the Hispanic vote. And so as a result, they're not going to say a thing. They're not going to come in support of a Democrat candidate who is African American that stands in the way of this major power play. African Americans have been sold out. Now, what we're looking at here is we're looking for all Americans, no matter what the color of your skin. Americans that want to get rid of corrupt politicians, Americans that believe in the Constitution, Americans that want to see the Constitution upheld rather than shredded. That's what we want to represent us. And oh, this other interesting note, you know that the governor of Arizona is up for re-election. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Jan Brewer, the one that tried to secure the border with Mexico of Arizona and to try to get a handle on some of the people in the state illegally. Did you know that she was running for governor? I didn't. I just found it out today because the national media is not breathing a word. Again, they're quiet as a group of little church mice. And you know why? Because overwhelmingly, with a landslide, this woman is going to be reelected because she stands for the United States of America. Let me know what you think, as always. Thanks for listening.